So yeah, actually, before you guys walked in, me and Ryan were testing something that we saw on Reddit actually, and we were testing the theory. We saw a video of a dude bouncing bubbles off like the laser pointer, like one of like the military laser pointers, you know. So we tried it because Ryan happened to have the laser pointer, and we had bubbles on hand, and it didn't work.
But Bray blows a mean bubble.
I do blow a big bubble,
if
yeah.
anyone's wondering.
Do you think maybe the bubble is too big, or did you try it with a couple different size bubbles?
We tried with all the sizes of bubbles, and it did not do anything.
We
What
also
type of laser pointer are you working with?
I don't know this one.
Yeah, that will blind you, just so you know.
Yeah,
like a
it's pretty
military
shiny.
grade.
Dude, it looks like a flashlight. It looks like a...
It really does.
Do you know that, like the physics and theory behind lasers? Do they even have mass? Guess
I don't know,
I-
but
that's-
like in the video, the
I
dude
don't
was
know.
bouncing it off one of those things.
It could be fake though,
It
Just
could.
like
That's what I'm
It's
saying. Is
fake.
everything
They
fake?
can
Yeah.
make anything fake.
or we just don't have a good enough laser.
Yeah, but
we
that
tried
thing
filling the bubble up with vape.
that didn't
You
work.
vaped into it, and that
Are
didn't
there
work.
other videos of people doing this, or is this like a?
No, but
I
the
don't know, we
comment
just saw
section's
it.
kind of a warfare right now.
I remember
but it is
you-
just the top post of
Is
But
today.
look at that
so-
thing. You
It's a
can
new video.
Yeah, you can see the laser like
The actual
on
Like
the
all the
laser.
way
You know,
through.
like, it's not. You don't just see the end point. You see like
The whole laser
whole
on
thing,
the dust
yeah.
particles and shit.
Yeah, it's dusty in here.
it's just dusty.
That thing would go
everywhere.
to the moon.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that would go a mile. Anyways, is everything fake that I see online now,
Everything,
or what?
Maybe, probably, a lot of it.
Some
Guess
of it-
so.
Yeah.
That's my take from it.
Hot take.
That's the whole thing.
The internet's
What?
a lie.
All of it. The
Bray,
whole thing.
I'll start with you. I guess. Well, so it's me. Hello, this is Rye, and we have Bray here.
Hey, I'm Bray.
We also have two guests, Morgan Bronson. What up, guys?
Hey, it's more.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Morg, you just moved into our apartment. How do you like it?
New roomie. It's been tight. Loving it. Hanging out, gaming all day. Can't complain.
Played some Fortnite today.
Fortnite, some Zelda.
Fortnite is cool as shit. I don't know if anyone needs to know that now, but go boot up and it's fun. I don't know. We have fun with it.
Boot up the Fortnite.
Big news. New Fortnite Battle Pass dropping June 5th. Mark it on your calendar, everybody.
Yeah, everybody mark it on your calendar.
I'm sure all of our viewers are going to be just circling that day.
Yeah, yeah. Bray, what's the fastest speed you've been on in an automobile, like that you've driven? Like, what's the fastest you've driven a car?
Land speed record 200. No, I'm just kidding. It was like 150.
150.
It was
Tell me the
no,
story.
no, 145.
Tell me the story.
Actually, it was like not long after I got my Z,
Uh huh.
and I had at the time I had only gone like 100 in it just on the freeway, like nothing like too crazy.
Yeah.
And then I had just talked to my dad that day, and he asked me how fast I had gone in it. I was like, I don't know, like freeway, like 9,500. And he was like, that's it? Like, that was his response. And I was like, okay. So literally, like, the next day or like 2 days later, I was in Benjamin because I knew there wouldn't be any cops at night. At least
Sometime-
for
I mean, they
right
definitely are,
for the
but yeah.
most part. At the time, I was just like, yeah, whatever. I just want to do
But
it.
that was way out on like the back road, like the frontage in front of West Mountain, right?
Yeah, like way back there. But I thought it was a pretty long road and it was pretty flat relatively.
So you punched it, hit 150.
Yes, yeah, it scared the shit out of me. I have not gone that fast since, like, not even close.
What was it like going that fast?
I didn't like it. Like, especially, like, you got to do that on a highway or something. It was,
Those back roads are
like, well, like, that back road, it's pretty flat, like, if you just look down it. But, like, I was driving in the center of the road. It was, like, 2 in the morning because, you know, I could see any headlights and whatnot. And, like, I was in the middle of the road, and, like, I could feel my suspension, like, I was going so fast that every little bump was just like, da-da, da-da, and like I could feel every wheel like activating differently. Like every wheel was not doing the same thing because I was going so fast and it was reacting to the bump so fast. And yeah, so do it on a highway. It was scary. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So you would recommend going that fast, just on a highway?
Yeah, but on a highway it's like dumb because if you get pulled over, you're gonna get just ruined
You'd be
forever.
destroyed
You know,
going that
like
speed.
you know, like yeah.
You'd be in
So
so much trouble.
if you want to do that, you'd really have to go to like somewhere.
There's that highway in Germany or
Yeah,
somewhere in
the-
Europe that's no speed limit.
They actually do those sort of things in Europe, like on those back freeways. Some of them just don't have speed limits because it's not like necessary, but some people just go crazy on them.
That's nuts. The fastest I've been was in the Acura, the TL.
Really?
And then I hit 145. Me
Oh,
and Haley were going out, to
in the TL.
in the TL, 1,000%. Similar story. We were kind of on the highway. We were going out to get her family in like Nevada. They were doing cows in Nevada,
Okay.
and we just like gunned it out there. And I was like, I just really want to see like how fast I can go. And we did it.
And
like,
you were
just
in
that
the
same feeling,
freeway
like-
in Nevada?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it wasn't like going out to like Las Vegas. It was like definitely going somewhere else. I forgot like where it is.
Just,
But
like,
out
in the middle of
We
nowhere.
didn't even see like a car going back and forth. even,
Cool.
like, the whole way there.
That's where you should do it,
Exactly.
you know? Yeah.
And so, but like everything on the car was so loud. Like you could hear the wind, like just
Yeah, just
working on your
attacking
car.
you.
Yeah, and then like everything is like shaking, or like you can feel every movement in the car.
Every
Yep.
movement feels like aggressive when normally it doesn't.
And then going back down to 80 was like the weirdest feeling because like 80 didn't feel like
80.
anything anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
When
But,
you're almost doubling the speed, it's like, yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
don't do that. I haven't done that in years, and then I haven't gone that fast. I don't think I've gone that fast in a long time.
It's cool. It's fun to go that fast. You just got to be like careful about it because you will definitely die if anything bad happens. So don't let that happen.
Yeah, Morg, have you gone fast at all?
I've never gone that fast at all. My scariest thing was I was actually a passenger in a car. It was some kid with like a way souped up Subaru, and it was the Mapleton Canyon, and he was booking it like 60 up it and like going through the turns. He was like, his wheels were like skirting out, and
Ooh.
that's probably the like fastest I've gone in like a crazy space or something like that, and would not do again. I was white knuckling the whole time, bro.
Just thinking like any turn is like
I was
you
like,
can take
bro,
it bad and just fucking spin
You
out.
roll, you're gone.
Yeah. Rolling is scary.
Rolling is scary. Our buddy Sean has definitely told us his story about rolling down a mountain. It's on the podcast somewhere. You can go look for it.
That's
He has told the tale.
Bronson, do you have any stories, any high
You like to go
speed
fast.
stories?
You just got your new car.
I do every so often. I probably hit like 105 in my car, like coming back from West Mountain. I've only taken that car up the mountain once, so I'm pretty proud of myself.
Up West Mountain?
Yeah,
Like up it?
not all the way.
Okay.
Probably up to like the first turn.
Okay.
It's like no way.
Yeah, no, if you went anywhere further, I was like, dang.
Yeah. But on
that's
the way
impressive.
back, yeah, I hit 105 on one of those back roads. But then the scariest thing was we went out to a giant pit in. Have you been to the pit before?
No, but you've told me about it. But
Yeah.
I've been out to. Isn't it just out in,
Speak,
like,
speak on the
ocean?
pit.
I want to go to the pit.
The pit is very cool. So, back in the ancient days when they were first settling Utah, someone found some silver and they decided to just keep digging down, like on this big vein. So it's just this big hole, probably like 200 feet around,
What?
100 feet around. I don't know. It's a big hole.
Talk like diameter.
Probably 20.
Probably like
30 feet.
probably like 25 feet across,
Yeah.
just about. And it's all covered in like this grate, but it goes down. It's like this 25-foot open hole, and it just empties for like forever. We
Yeah.
drop anything down there, and it just keeps going. Like it does not stop.
Yep. Yeah.
Like you stop seeing it before it visibly hits the ground or stops somewhere.
You know what we
Is that a render
need?
distance?
We need to put that laser pointer in there.
I don't know what would happen, you know?
I mean, I've seen you
Fucking
guys
mole
drop
people would come
I've seen the
out.
video of you guys dropping that fire, but
I think
the laser
would
pointer,
go
because you
forever.
can see that laser in the dark, you'd get a pure
Yeah, you'd
just
see a
the
bunch of
whole
just a
beam.
whole
Bunch of
beam.
red eyes looking right at you, and then all of a sudden you'd hear the earth shake, and then all the mole people would start to climb up.
Cthulhu comes out.
They just
Cthulhu
know.
that
A
would be
boss
scary.
comes out, bro. We wake the boss. We're the ones that trigger it.
Just because we wanted to throw some shit into a hole
Just
and
wanna mess
shine a
with it.
laser pointer into it.
Dude, that hole goes forever.
But we were heading out there, and there's this little like turn off, and you're supposed to turn off and go. But our buddy Bridger was in front of us, so I like waved him forwards because I thought it was forwards, and then I just turned left to make sure, and it was like just right up on the left, like 10 feet. But Bridger had like kept driving on this other road. So me and my buddy Porter hopped in the Honda Civic, just beat to shit, and like I was driving pretty quick to catch up to Bridge, and there was like this horseshoe turn, and I probably hit it at 25, just like way too fast.
It was in dirt.
Yeah, like dirt gravel. So I slid this whole horseshoe turn, and then like rocked it back at the end, and like went up on this dirt thing, and like past the dirt, the little berm. It was probably like a 20-foot hill, just like straight down. So I almost wrecked the Civic, but that's like the scariest thing I've ever been driving.
Have you guys ever been in car crashes? Like anything serious or?
I was in one when I was young. I've seen a bad one though.
I saw a semi tip over on the freeway once.
Whoa.
I was driving back. It was from the Provo to Springville exit. I think wind or something blew it over, but it fell and it like went sideways. But it was behind. My mom was driving. It was behind us, luckily, and like just crazy. There was also the big one in Spanish Fork that just lit everything on fire.
What was that?
I saw that one. I passed it.
There
was a semi on fire. It was just like on the exit.
I don't remember what happened exactly, but I know that I was on a ski trip that day, and me and all my homies were just getting off the exit, and there was a huge fire, so we had to go down farther and just get off a later exit to get back home and just take back roads. But the story that I heard was just some fuel driver was going a little too quick, and you know the Spanish Fork Bend, it used to they've added a lot of safety precautions now with like turn signals, and they're telling you to go way slow. They have flashing lights everywhere. It's because of that guy. They added everything, and after there he went off the edge, and it was a fuel truck, so once he landed, everything just lit on fire. And then dude perished and everything, and it was just crazy. It shut the freeway down for a minute.
That sucks.
I passed that, like, not like when they were spraying it off. I watched them spray it off.
That was a crazy one. That was something that had lasting impacts with them adding the signs and everything. That was crazy to see.
Dang.
It was a big fire.
One time I was like when I was 16, I got rear-ended by our friend Sean Richardson.
Ooh.
He destroyed his car, and then like my bumper was just like dented.
It's so funny how that happens
Yeah,
sometimes.
just like his whole front engine was just destroyed. It was gone. But like, because I was just at a stop, and he hit me going like 40 miles an hour because he didn't see the stop sign. Just hit into the back of me. Bumper of my car was fine. Just my mom's Toyota Camry. And then his Honda Accord just did not survive.
Poor cord.
Speaking of Sean, I was in the car when he hit a kid.
He hit a kid?
He hit. It was my 9th grade year, and it was a kid in my grade, and he was older. Sean was older, so he was driving us around, and the other kids were kind of troublemakers, and like I think we were in like a standoff or something. They were kind of like yelling at each other, getting mad at each other. So one of the kids stood in the road, and Sean's like, I gotta go. He's like, I'm gonna keep going. And the kid's like, I'm not moving. So Sean went up, and he like hit his knees, and it buckled both of the kids' knees back. And like he had to go to therapy to like learn how to walk and everything. And I think he ended up taking it up with Sean, or like he might have let it go, but I like he had lasting impacts. So me and the kid talked. We ended up getting cool in high school, and like we'd laugh about it. But like he was like, yeah, no, I got fucked up a little bit.
Dang, don't stand in front of cars, I guess.
Don't stand in front of cars. I mean, some people keep going.
I hit a deer in my old Acura when I was in high school.
I hit deer in my Eclipse.
My
remember.
deer.
Yeah.
Go,
No,
Oh, my deer, when I hit it and that thing launched like 20 feet.
Whoa.
That thing, I just saw its body just go. And then it hit the ground, bounced. All of its legs were broken. It never got back up. Like it was one of those ones that they get back up and run off, and it was just fucking
It was just done for.
destroyed.
Did you just leave it? Did you like?
We pulled it to the side of the road.
Did you end it, or was
it was already dead.
It was.
ended.
Oh, it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't
moving or
in pain. It
anything.
wasn't
Okay.
screaming out. It was dead.
That'd be terrifying. Hitting something and it just still freaking out. I can't imagine that. I don't
how
know.
else would I end it? I don't have anything like a croak, like the thing that you use
Get a
to
rock.
change your car.
See, but would you if that situation did come
let
up?
a bear come by. Let natural selection. Let the ants take it. I don't know.
you hitting it with your car completely destroys natural selection.
Honestly, me having a car destroys natural
That's
selection,
true.
so I don't know what to do about
Humans
that.
are alpha.
It's not like I was like, I'm gonna go and drive. I didn't want to destroy my dad's car. I didn't. It's not like I was, aiming for it.
Dude, when I hit my deer in the Eclipse, a cop came and pulled the deer off the side of the road, And he pulled it, and he like shined his light over, and I remember seeing 2 other dead deer right next to where he pulled that one off. He was like, "Yeah, there's lots of deer out tonight." I was like, "Bro, are you kidding me?" Like in the same spot.
Me and Matt told you not to go.
Yeah, I remember.
We went to Five Guys and we were like, "Don't go, bro. Just like stay here. Like, let's just kick it." And he's like, "Nah, I gotta go."
Yeah, I left anyway.
And he hit a deer.
Damn. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, that was just karma. Karma hit me hard that time. Should have stayed.
Have you guys ever seen like a drunk driver or like someone impaired and like they're clearly like driving bad or anything like that?
Never.
I have not seen anything like that guy's obviously drunk, like anything like that. Like sometimes people are shitty drivers, but I can usually just count it as them being a shitty driver, not
Or
like
on the phone.
or on the phone. But like I've never actually seen someone drunk driving.
I have 2 crazy experiences. So one, I was driving with my girlfriend Liz. We were on the freeway, and some dude was going lane to lane, like not using a blinker or anything. And we were like joking about it at first, like, oh, he's probably just a bad driver. We're joking, he's drunk and everything. And then we followed him for like 3 exits, and like he was getting close to hitting us and multiple people and like the barrier. So Liz, my girlfriend, ended up calling the police, and just kind of. We went home, didn't mind it. She got a call like 3 hours later that they pulled him over and like he was plastered drunk. They found open containers in the vehicle and everything, took him to jail. My girlfriend had to like promise to like appear in court or anything if they like took him there and all that. And then one time, the craziest one I've had, I was driving home from to my house, and it was like 3 a.m. I was at a stoplight like maybe 3 or 4 blocks away. Mm-hmm. Red light, I'm stopped there. This dude comes barreling down the road next to me, and he's going he's up on the sidewalk. He's like going back and forth. He's going in circles in the middle of the road, and it's 3 a.m. No one's out there, absolutely no one. So I just like stop at the light, and it turns green, and I can go. But I'm like, I'm gonna like check this out for a sec. Like this could be bad. And he just kept going, and it was crazy. Burrow was going in circles in like the middle of the road. He was going up on the sidewalk. He clipped a mailbox. I saw him clip a mailbox, and then I kind of followed him a little bit. He went down, and he turned into a neighborhood, and he was going up on like the sidewalks and everything, and like getting way close to cars and everything. I was like, I can't be near this. This is gonna be bad. So I flipped around. I just went right home, and I called the cops. I was like, hey, there's someone like just driving around this area. They're obviously intoxicated. I don't know what they're on. Like, it wasn't even like the level of drunk driving, because like how they were driving, like you have to be absolutely out of your mind. Like they had to be unaware of all of their actions that they were doing, because they could not go in a straight line, or like, because drunk drivers will like swerve and stuff, but like he couldn't do anything. Like he was going up on the sidewalk, circle and everything. And I never got a call back about that one, but I just remember it. I've never witnessed something like that before. It was absolutely crazy.
Just someone defying every single street law.
Bro, it's like, yeah, all at once.
Holy shit.
Sometimes kids just get in those cars. You ever see those stories where like kids are in the cars and
they're like 8? They can't even see.
Yeah, they have to like talk kids down off of the freeway of like driving, because they're just driving on the freeway.
Oh my god.
It's fucking nuts.
That scares me. That's just crazy that something so random can happen.
Just don't get behind the wheel if it's like that. Just stay where you're at.
Call a friend.
Chill at home.
Walk.
Sleep on the floor.
Sleep on the floor. That's great. That's great. Rye, you had something else you wanted to bring up. Specifically, we were talking about earlier.
Which ones?
I don't know. You had a whole thing going. We were talking about we were talking about how you can be good at something and you can't necessarily, like, if something is similar to the thing you're good at, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're good at B. Do you know what I mean?
Go on with this.
What was that?
Go on.
Right. So this is the example that I got, is that for the most part I'm pretty good at FPS games, but I am shit at Valorant, and I keep getting just destroyed at it. And just like that, if you're good at one thing, it doesn't mean you're good at another. And I don't know.
Right, I'm good
Are you
at
going to bed?
volleyball, which is a net
Are you going to
sport,
bed?
but any sport with a paddle. I'm absolutely
Right, like tennis, or you get like
tennis, table tennis, squash, anything. Just that you add the racket factor, and I'm terrible.
right.
Just
Like
change a little something.
yeah, you once you change that little thing, it's so much. I don't know. Like there are so many different factors that can be put into it. I just think that's interesting that it's so much harder to pick up something, just because it's a little bit different.
Yeah, even though it's similar to something you're already good at, you can just be completely awful at it.
Yeah, sometimes you can just pick it up instantly. Like some people just pick up other games and things like that instantly, or other sports. But sometimes it just doesn't click like that, even though you're so good at something so close to it. I was just thinking about that and thought it was interesting.
I think I've always sucked at video games, so I've never really put too much thought into it.
I've seen you play Fortnite, right?
Okay,
You
so
are
I've gotten
great.
'cause
Rise of
we've
God at
put
Fortnite.
way too many hours into Fortnite. We're all really good at Fortnite.
Well, you're good at Fortnite now. Do you think you'll be good at any like a similar?
Probably not.
No.
It does, yeah, no.
I can be decent at Fortnite, but I'll always struggle at COD. I'm always getting the 6 kills and 15 deaths. I've never been able to like wrap my head around that one, but I don't know. But I guess maybe just everyone has like an innate ability at some games, or how they
Do you
pick it
think
up and how they strategize.
there's so many other factors that could be like that could be involved in it, because it could just be like how people are interacting with the game. Like what if you're just really good at analyzing people, which means that's why you're good at these games, because you know where people are going to go, or you know things like that. Like do you think that kind of thing could transfer over? Like I could almost call it map awareness. Do you think that could transfer over from game to game?
Yeah, being able to see people and translating where they might be and all
Yeah,
that.
like that intuition of like where they could be, what could happen. Do you think that could go situation to situation?
Would you say you play Call of Duty more tactically than other shooters?
No.
No, he doesn't play Call of Duty tactically at all. Bray runs through the
You
map.
just,
Bray
you just run
hits.
around and you're always getting kills?
That for the most part, that's how I've usually played that one. Is I usually look for people and try to like.
Yeah, but then he's playing Valorant and like he.
But I get dumped on Valorant. But it's pretty. I know it's like a
Still
CS:GO
a
type.
first person.
How many
Yeah.
hours have you put into Valorant?
Far less, but
Yeah, that's his point. He's great at Call of Duty, and Valorant changes a couple things, and then for some reason he just doesn't pick that game up. But it's like almost the same thing.
Well, how long have you been playing Call of Duty?
a long time, but I can pick up other games similar to Valorant and Call of Duty much better than I can pick up that one. Do you know what I mean?
Some games are harder than others.
Definitely.
I don't know.
Definitely.
I don't know. Not all games are the same.
Maybe the community that comes to Valorant's different because it's an exclusive game and you had to watch a Twitch stream to actually get it.
I was
so.
thinking about that as well. Like the people might just be sweatier just because it is.
It's all
going to
be the gamer boys who like to watch the streams.
Yeah,
You
right.
look at like Shroud. Shroud will pick up any game almost instantly.
Exactly. It does not matter what the game is. If it's a first-person shooter, he's going to be
Yeah,
good
the
at
second
it.
Valorant came out, he was
Valorant.
destroying
He was in the top
Same with Warzone.
rank.
I remember the first week Warzone came out with Shroud videos of him just destroying people.
Yeah, let's see a different person, but he can do it.
But it seems like a lot of the high-level YouTubers and streamers and stuff can be pretty adaptable to different games. Like Ninja can hop in a Fortnite game and he can be god in that one, but like in Call of Duty he's average, so
Yeah.
he can kind of be like that. But then there's other people who like Shroud will just translate across the board.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that some people have. Maybe it's just like pure playtime, because I know some people like that just have crazy playtime. Do you know what I mean?
Some people know life it for sure.
What do you think Shroud's IQ is? Do you think that translates at all?
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay. What is an average IQ? I do not know what an average, like pure average IQ is. Do you?
I don't know what's the highest IQ score you can get.
How about I Google the average IQ and you all tell me your guesses?
I'd guess about 110.
73.
I would say 100. I would assume they go to 200 and 200s.
I believe it exceeds 200s. I've seen articles. There's people who have like way higher ones than Einstein ever had, and like all
IQ
these.
tests are made to have an average score of 100.
That's what I was trying to say.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But, I mean, average is 70%, not 50. So that would mean one...
A very low IQ is below 70,
Yeah.
to put that in perspective. So 30 points of like 100 to 70 is
What
a very big
qualifies as a
difference.
genius?
Above 130. So it's kind of like the Bell tier.
So
you know what I
100,
mean?
yeah, 100 is average, but 130 is
genius, and 70 is like an idiot.
So
stupid.
each point is pretty significant.
Yeah, it's like the bell curve. You know, there will be people in the high tier and there will be people in the extreme low tier. But
So do you think maybe Shrouds is like 110, like just above average, so he just like understands the game as soon as he hops in?
I think there are people that understand things faster than other people just because of how they're made. Like, I don't know. Maybe like Shroud will definitely pick up any game, but there are similar people that can do the same thing with like all sorts of stuff, music, just new skills in general. Like, but Shroud is definitely really good at it. I would say could be like above average just because of how fast he learns. I would say learning speed is something that's really reliant on, like, you know, I think that's something that would be visibly shown with a higher IQ is how fast they learn something, like a new task or a new thing. Does not compute.
No, I think it makes...
I think it's just video games. Like,
I'm talking like more than video
but
games.
like in
just
real world, that makes me like wonder, like, is
I think it has to come with the want of wanting to be better. I think it's thinking through the situations and how they can, because there's different tools in every game and everything, and seeing how you can utilize those. Because I've seen a lot of streamers, they use items that nobody ever uses, and they use them in ways that nobody's ever used them
thought
before.
of using them,
and it's always really effective. So maybe it's just thinking outside the box and learning to just do all those things first and experimenting as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the playtime, always just trying to try new things. And
muscle memory itself.
because a lot of people, when they play games, they'll just kind of go through the same motions. But if you actively try to improve on different skills and like use things in different scenarios, then it'll all just become second nature to you, and it just becomes so much quicker.
You have to think these people are playing these games in a different type of way than we are, because we're playing it in our free time to have fun, but this is all they do, and they're probably putting their absolute best into it all the time, which I don't know if you guys are in video games, but sometimes I just play and just like die and have fun. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah. It's going try hard. I've never been able to go
It's hard to have fun and just be a sweatshop, you know? Like...
it gets too emotionally investing. Then you start getting angry, start throwing controllers, and that's where, I don't know, sometimes a problem can start. I never want to get that far into some games.
But like in real life, with people who do pick up things fast and like just are in general smarter,
sure.
Do you think that's completely based on genetics, or do you think that's like we could train people to be smarter? Do you think there's a formula that could potentially raise kids to be better thinkers?
Do you think there's a formula to raise like IQ? Is that what you're saying?
Like just smarter people in general. Do you think the kids that are exceedingly smarter than the other kids, it's because of something that happened as they were getting older? Do you think that's purely their genetics?
Is this like the nurture nature argument kind of?
Yeah, very, very similar, but I've never seen it really done with intelligence.
With intelligence related, like how fast you're learning.
Yeah, it's more of like sad, happy, just psychological stuff.
For things like that, I think it's really important. I think it's how much drive they have. I think any kid can soak up something fast if they're interested in it.
Okay, so then at that point it would be, do you think that is a personality trait that you just get, is like someone's more driven or caring about certain subjects, or do you think that's something that they're raised into that then makes them able to learn things better because they were raised that way to care about things?
Honestly, the only way I could explain it is it has to be a mix of both, in my opinion. Well, because
which side are you leaning more towards? Do you think it's more of you're born with it, or do you think it's more of a certain way you were raised?
I think it's a certain way you were raised. Just because I think there are things that you can see that inspire you, or things that you know that are different that inspire you, that will make you interested, that will make you want that drive and that feeling that makes you want to get better. And that feeling that makes you want to get better, if you put that in a kid, kids are like sponges. They'll eat up anything. They'll learn anything. Do you know what I mean? So if you do that at a young age and you put kids in a good environment where they're going to have something they like, and really, because they'll put everything into it. Like when I was a kid, if I liked something, that's all I did because that's all I liked. You know what I mean? Now it's different because I'm an adult. It's a whole different mindset. But yeah, I think I'm definitely leaning more towards it's how you grow up. But I don't know. I think genetically there could be something invested that could have some sort of impact towards intelligence. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I really first thought about this question with Elon Musk. The second I found out both of his parents were really intelligent, I was like, does that transmit to him through their DNA, or is it just because they're intelligent, so they know
How to raise a
how
kid
to raise a
to
kid
also be
to
intelligent.
also be intelligent, and that gives him the ability to then go on to think outside the box, develop new ideas.
I would
Just-
definitely say the latter. Like,
You don't
they're-
think it's at all their genetics?
I
Two
think it's their
geniuses?
fucking money, man.
Do you think it's money?
Yeah, they're rich.
Do you think it's just time and ability to actually?
Resources are able to let you wash away things that you lack up in other areas, be it intelligence, be it in parenting, whatever. Like resources like money can cover up for things like that. So when you're dealing with billionaires, I don't think it's fair to say like, you know,
So
that they're like people who were raised right. Like in the sense that like, yeah, we don't get that much money either. I don't know.
what if it was the same like parents, Elon Musk parents, but they were extremely poor? Do you think he wouldn't have the same lifestyle, but do you think he would still be maybe as smart as he is?
yeah, say Elon Musk was adopted out at a young age, so he grew up from 1 to his current age with different parents who were poor, low middle class, of average intelligence. Do you think he would be?
Who knows? Like that's the same speculation that we're creating when you ask the question.
Do you
like,
think you could test that?
No, like I don't know. You know who knows what happens if things are different. Like I don't think that things are like we're just made up of a collection of everything that happens, everything that's happened before us, between our parents and our grandparents, and how we got here, and then everything that we take in, everything that we soak up throughout our whole lives. That's all that we are. It's like a combination of everything. It's not just like, you know, any one thing. It's all of it. You can't remove like one substance out of it because then it's a different thing completely.
Because it changes the thing completely.
Yeah.
It's people aren't the same as objects. You can't. Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
feel
you can't just substitute like things out to see what the value is.
people are
in
not a
that
part of
person.
formulas. You cannot.
Right.
People are not X values.
We're just made up of like emotions and things and events and like things that are on our brains at the time that we make decisions. Those decisions, yeah, they're the ones that we make, but they're like specifically they're the ones that we make at that time because of the headspace we were in. I don't think it's because of like, you know, specifically the way we were raised or, you know, the way that our genes are. It's just
You think it's
how we feel in that
environment
moment.
and your just like the situation that you're in and where you're at?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are all of your choices that you make? Just what you're feeling, right? When do you go eat? When you want to. What do you eat? What you feel like? What's close? It's just we're just that. We're just the choices that we make in the moment that we have because we're the you know, the end result of everything that's already happened. And we just keep going with that. I don't think it's about like who you truly are or who you truly are inside or, you know, what you're programmed to be. It's just like the things that you choose, right?
I would agree that it's definitely more skewed towards that way.
Like, because the nature-nurture argument is like so, I don't know, it's just like so arbitrary because it's like it's so black and white, but it's like how do you say either way because that's not what happened. Like what happened is just you can point it back to, oh, their parents were hard on them, or oh, their parents had dependencies and chemicals, so then therefore they would inherit that same chemical dependency, addiction, possibility. But like at the end of the day, they're still made up of those choices of choosing to do those things and who they are when they made those choices.
Right. You can't change the circumstances that a person has gone through, and you can't substitute that.
Right. Right.
I would definitely agree.
If you had to make, I had the idea of like time capsules. You know those shit. You put a box in the ground, bury it for 100 years, seal it, and then 100 years they open it up.
Leave it for someone else, yeah?
Right. What's like the most valuable thing you could put in it for like 100 years from now?
The most valuable thing I can put in a shoebox.
Like if you were to do a time capsule just for the sake of making like the highest value item,
Oh
what
man,
could you put in?
this is like figuring out what to put in my alpha container.
Is this for like for you personally, or
Do you
for
think you
humanity in the future?
Do you think you personally? I'm speaking specifically on value because like I don't think there's anything like I need to be remembered in 100 years. You know what I mean? Like I don't think there's anything like that. Just like what would be like the most valuable thing in like 100 years.
That you could just bury and have someone that.
Yeah, like somebody's like gonna open this and
And it's gonna be valuable. Whoever's gonna find it. That's kind of
Right.
the idea.
I'd load up a USB with all my favorite movies.
do you think that would work?
I
Do you think
mean,
that would be worth value? Do you think that would be valuable?
You think they won't have those movies in 100 years?
I think
Possible.
I think they will be forgotten about.
It's possible.
I mean, there will still be some fans, and there will still be those little groups that do like them. But maybe someone will go through it and they'll be like, "Whoa, what are these?"
So here's the thing. Think about like storage, like those 2 megabit storages from 1960s. They were gigantic. Okay, so that was what, like 40, 50 years ago. Do you think that like in 100 years, even
Yeah.
like the tech for a USB drive, that could be like so dated?
It could be
That
just
could be like
obsolete by then.
what the hell is this?
It's
This is a-
already
this
getting.
is a
You would-
pebble,
yeah,
pretty
they're already
much.
moving to USB-C as time
Well,
goes on.
if you look at a micro SD card, they have terabyte or 2 terabyte micro SD cards that are way smaller than a USB. So like they're already in the dust. You know what I mean? They're just convenient right now. But I think in the future, like people won't even 100 years from now. I don't think we'll have USB ports.
Well, okay, if you were to open up a time capsule from 100 years ago, what valuable item do you think?
Dude,
Like
a bunch of antique coins from just
So
Memorabilia.
that are old.
so
for
you're
me.
thinking, well, wouldn't you just put in currency in yours then? If that's what you would want in
Probably
the
not
past?
Well, we're just talking pure value. What's the most?
Well,
Like if you were to open it, you're like, damn, this is worth a lot of money. What's the most you
alcohol.
could pack?
If you put like an alcohol in, think about if you got
Like
like
a bottle of
100-year-old
wine.
scotch right now, and then you put that in. That would be a 200-year-old scotch.
Do you think gold will go up in the future?
Gold will probably always have or hold its value to some degree. That's the point.
What if we broke through like the fucking what's the layer we can't get through in the earth?
I don't know.
The
What if we
crust?
Bedrock?
what if we broke through that and it was just gold underneath?
It's just all gold.
Yeah.
What if
I
they were
don't know.
dragons? What
Then
about
what?
other
I think I
people?
would put some of my DNA in there with like instructions to clone me if that technology has been.
Okay, very good idea.
So, okay, that's cool. So
You wanna
put
be
a sliver
cloned?
Of your DNA, say,
You think they'll bring your
resurrect me?
consciousness
Right.
back, or you'll just be a clone?
No idea how it works. Probably you would. I don't know. Yeah.
Would
no
you just be
idea.
a
I
walking
don't think it brings
corpse of you?
consciousness back. I
Your
don't
No,
know.
consciousness
I
is
think
still-
once you die, your consciousness is gone. But
Yeah.
you could potentially make another one of me. But I don't know if I would even be in charge of that person.
So
at that
do
point.
you think you would end up being the same person as a clone?
Yeah.
or-
What if I just went through another
or-
life 100 years from now? I would never really. I guess I would
That's
kind of know.
That's crazy.
What if they clone you and make an army? They're like, maybe. What if like short people inhabit the future?
Yeah,
And they're like,
they're all
oh, look at this
short.
6'4". I'm gonna make an army of these guys. and I'm gonna take over the world.
Hi, I'm Bronson. I'm 6'4".
Somebody-
They go,
well,
whoa!
If you're a clone, you're kind of at the disposal of whoever clones
You,
you.
Right.
you might not even have rights.
Because that kind of goes back into like the nature nurture. They can just raise you however they, for whatever purpose.
Or
they
you could
want
be a
to.
slave.
Right. Yeah, they could just make a
Slave
1,000
boy
clones
bronze.
of me, and just the perfect slave.
In the
So would you
future.
really want to be cloned then?
Well, see, I don't know the implications. If those are all me and I have to experience every single one of those, I still think that would be really cool.
I would put my DNA in the box.
What if? Okay, picture this. Let's say there is an afterlife. You die, and then
Uh-huh.
you're experiencing this beautiful afterlife.
sucks
It's
you
everything
back?
you want. Everything you want. All of a sudden, one day, just fucking black hole. Everything gets sucked into it. You're back onto Earth 100 years in the future. It's the worst case scenario. You're now. There's no more heaven anymore.
It's a Mad Max
gone.
S world.
That's reincarnation. That's what that is.
Maybe.
But
I
what
don't
if
know.
I don't know,
Who's to
man?
say,
That's a
man?
weird thing. Like if you're going to create a clone, like
Yeah, I think it would be a completely different. Well, maybe it wouldn't work. Maybe cloning wouldn't work because you can't
It's
develop a consciousness. But where does the consciousness come from? Sperm and egg, you know? What? It's just a collection of What are those things in your brain called?
I don't
Just
know, man.
electricity running through your brain. That's what makes us.
I think it depends if you. I don't know. I always thought like consciousness came from a soul.
Do you think
like
you
in a sense, if you have a soul, like I think you do. I think I do.
would
I
you
don't
be
know.
considered like a robot as a clone?
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically,
I don't
we're just
know.
really
We don't know.
complex meat robots, right?
If they were going to make a clone, wouldn't it like they would take the DNA? Wouldn't they have to basically make a baby first, like
Right,
with
exactly,
your
that's what I'm
clone?
saying. It would
So
be
that
you
would
grow up.
develop some sort of. If they were to successfully do it, it would have to be able to grow a brain, which would then start the same
Right. It would grow the
conscious.
exact same brain that is
But-
my brain.
But its
Would it be
thoughts
the
would
exact
be
same?
It
Would
would,
the
yeah.
thoughts
from
would be
growing up
completely
in
different.
a
The thoughts would be different. Would it-
completely different.
Would it be the same way you would handle it?
No, I don't think so. I think being raised. Well, I don't know. I feel like there are things about me that are just inherently about me. Like there's
Yeah.
things that I do and things that I struggle with that like that's just who I am.
Yeah.
And like other people don't feel the same way. There's like different types of people. But I
Yeah.
don't know if that's from the way I was raised. I feel like it's more like something that's always been there. But I guess I don't remember anything before.
So you're saying 100-year-old Bronson would have
Would
some
have
things,
that would have, share very similar characteristics to like
but would handle most things differently because it was raised the way it was.
yeah. But there are some things like the way that it feels potentially
Uh huh.
would be the same.
Yeah.
But I don't think ideas and morals and values would be the same.
All different because ideas, morals, values could definitely change. I think those are definitely the biggest things that would change.
Well, morally, is it worse to kill a clone than a person?
Probably.
If it develops a consciousness, then it's just fuck.
It's
That's a hard one,
Have you
man.
seen Blade Runner 2049?
I haven't.
no.
They kind of ask that question because there's replicants, essentially like, manufactured humans for the sake of, whatever they need, workers, sex laborers, what have you, armies. But like the question is like, what's the difference between killing that and killing something that was born? Is there a difference? Clone life is weird. I don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
Even politically, when clones were to first come around, ethically, how many people do you think would want them to have the same rights, or how many people do you think that they deserve that because they're the same? I don't know, just that
See,
they're
like,
the same as people.
if
Do they deserve the same rights as someone who's born through sex?
If we ever did get advanced enough to get clones,
I
this
think they already have done it. Now that I think about it,
I have no idea.
they've
But
cloned animals.
They clone sheep.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think a human has definitely been attempted to be cloned.
I saw
Probably.
this Michael Jackson lookalike in Las Vegas that
But,
I
like-
swear to God was a clone.
that's gonna
It's a
be
hologram.
something in the future that could definitely cause like riots and things like that. If like, do you know what I mean? Like, this could actually be a pressing issue sometime in the future with clones if that does happen.
Clone lives matter.
We should not. Okay, no, yeah, we should not do clones. We should not have clones then.
I
You
don't.
think clones are like unethical, or
Yeah.
they just cause too many problems.
Probably. Just
I
too many
think-
problems.
Are clones like abominations?
If you're religious,
define abominations.
Playing God.
Well, I
Yeah,
guess it would also be if you're like a naturalist. It's still an abomination.
Well, aren't you producing it the same way as like producing a child?
It would be different because there's not two parts.
It's
You're
like
taking an
it's like
exact
making
copy.
a
It's like
synthetic
you-
chemical.
It's like making. Yeah. Okay.
That's why you gotta stick to the
It would be
purists.
similar to
You gotta-
nature, but I mean, and in some ways, it could be perfected. They could take out all your imperfections. They could make you a perfect specimen.
You're
Everyone
right.
would want to
in
be a
your
clone
DNA
then.
and then clone you.
Everyone would be the same person.
Because you would be able to modify things about people, probably.
Right. If they get to that
right?
point, you could definitely. I think it's possible now to do that. I just don't.
Just
think
now that we've been talking about it.
they can do it.
Yeah, that's pretty. I don't know. It's an interesting.
I think this is
Theory.
going on now. We got to stop this.
I think Morgan's a clone.
I could be.
Morgan's almost perfect.
I'm an
Morgan is
Aryan.
Perfection.
Honestly, I
Did you
could have
guys know
been like
birds are fake?
a Nazi experiment.
I disagree that birds are fake. I don't like that take.
My sister got 2 baby raccoons, so there are 2 baby raccoons at my house. If you ever want to go
It's
Well,
awesome.
hang
You
out with
think
baby
they're
raccoons
fake?
Addie did.
Yep.
Where?
at my house.
Where did she get them?
No idea. I just told her I wanted one.
Oh,
Yeah, they're so cute.
There's 6 animals in the house.
dude, raccoons scare me. Raccoons
Why?
are horrifying.
Raccoon would eat the cat.
Why? Because my dad used to trap animals, like he used to trap like mink and whatnot,
okay, yeah,
just
that's
because they're
different. If you raise
overpopulated.
them though,
Dude, I saw this raccoon that was vicious. Like, if it was not, like, handled, that thing would have messed someone up. Raccoons are scary.
Was it like foaming at the mouth or what?
Dude, I don't know what it was doing, but it was losing its mind, and it had sharp-ass teeth, and I did not
Did you
like
shoot it?
Yeah, he shot it. No, he didn't shoot it. He didn't shoot it.
He let it go.
No, we were at the golf course. He handled it.
Oh, John Wick style.
Put it in a bag and he threw it as far up in the air as he possibly could.
Have you ever felt bad after you killed an animal, Bray?
How many animals have you killed, Braden?
I've killed some animals before. I've killed, like, some deer. I've killed 2 deer. I've killed, like...
Here's the weird thing
know.
about me. Even, like, when we go fishing and I catch a fish, I feel really bad for the fish.
I feel terrible too.
Yeah, every time I go fishing, I feel awful.
Yeah, no, I don't... Like, it would be different if I was killing, like, a dog or something, because... Like, if you're killing... I don't know. That's, like, a whole different thing, like, household animals. But killing animals in the wild that I know are going to, like, continue to thrive.
But
and-
not them. But not that
Nature's
animal you
vicious.
kill.
Honestly, you
Yeah.
killing them might be better than the way they would have died.
There's all sorts of arguments as far as, like, hunting and things like that, but
Yeah,
I've
but
never
they
had
might
a
have not
problem
died.
with
They
it.
might have died of old age or instantly in their sleep of a heart attack. And instead they get a misplaced arrow through the lung and they live for another 5 minutes in agony.
Heart shot.
Heart shot would be ideal.
You shot one through the heart, Braden?
I actually did.
Tell me the story.
It was the first one I ever shot. It was actually kind of a funny story. Because
Is
we
that
went...
the one that was running?
Yeah, that was the one that was running.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was kind of stupid because it was like we went hunting with, it was like a family friend of ours, and there was another girl that had like a tag that was around my age, so we both went. And there was literally 2 deer, like the most perfect setting ever. Like, we were just on a hill, 2 deer, and we could shoot. And we were like, okay, we're just gonna count to 3 and both shoot. And she was like, okay, I'm ready, and then just like shot. So I was like, oh shit, so I wasn't even like ready, like aiming at mine. And then I was just like pulled up and basically like, I can only describe it as quick scoping this deer, and I got a heart shot.
So I think your Call of Duty translates to hunting as well.
I have no idea. I do not have a lot of hunting experience.
Do you think
Do
if
not
you
get
went
me
into the
wrong.
military, you would be...
I think I would be scared shitless.
Nobody American better
Sniper.
off than someone who like had never played video games.
Dude,
Do you
no.
think Call of Duty gives you an advantage?
You don't
in
think so?
war?
No.
At
Not
war
even like
crimes in
tactically.
Iraq?
Like
Cheat codes.
the only thing Call of Duty could ever give you is like how a gun relatively could work, because you're looking at like things like how weapons work and stuff like that. That is the only thing I could ever think about translating, and like that is very bare minimum stuff.
I don't think so. I think you got battlefield instincts, bro.
No.
I've seen you use your battlefield instincts in video games. You just turn around for no reason and melt some dude. You don't think that would translate into the military?
No, I think that would be horrifying. I would be too scared to have any sort of intuition to do anything.
You
I
don't
think.
respond. That's
He's
kind
a
of
great
rough.
gamer, but he's aware that he'll die a horrifying death when he's in the army.
Yeah, like I'm aware of it. Yeah. I do not think gaming translates to real life. No.
Dang.
But paintball probably would help you. Your paintball career did.
I mean, people in the army play paintball just like we've played people in the army before.
Yeah.
Like they'll come play. It's kind of funny.
Do you just destroy them?
Always, every time. Like it's a different thing, but I think they just do it just to like get shot. Is the kind of the. I think when they play in the woods, it's beneficial.
Casey told me that they do trainings in the army where they use like real bullets.
They
like,
use
like a live gun with
Uh-huh.
live bullets, but the tips are like
rubber.
but like barely rubber. Like he said, some girl got shot in the neck and died.
Like, yeah, they'll still. I didn't know that could happen, but I've heard of that happening, and they really, really hurt
Yeah,
if you
People
get shot.
die of friendly fire and training accidents all
Right.
the time.
yeah.
Rubber bullets can kill, even
Yeah.
like used in riots and
That
stuff.
doesn't
They,
seem responsible.
Oh, to do that for
the
I
army.
could see that kind of thing. Maybe not for the army, but if it was like some sort of live action training for like the Navy, like some sort of special mission thing, whatever, I could see it.
do you
But
think
for
the family
army?
gets paid out after that,
They gotta.
Yeah,
or do
probably.
you think it's like a no body cam situation?
They're like, sorry, we killed your son or daughter.
Just in a training.
Just
Does that actually happen in training? Someone died by rubber bullets.
Happens a lot. Look it up. Sometimes they're cover-ups too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Hey,
Never heard of that.
interesting
Did you see
stories.
that the Air Force released all their footage of UFOs? Like, made them public?
Yeah,
did.
I saw that a while
Confirmed
back.
that they were real?
I mean, just an
Unidentified, yeah.
flying object. So they're releasing footage of things that they don't know what they are. That doesn't like.
You don't think they're spaceships?
I mean, they're things that like I don't know what they are either. So it's like, I don't know. Where does that get me? Why would aliens just fly by? I don't know. I don't think aliens are doing that. I think it's more like drones from just different governments, probably. Different testing. There's always been different testing shit that's going on. You know, to think that it's not going on right now between our government or other governments is silly. You know, why would that only happen 50 years ago, 80 years ago, 60 years ago, 40 years ago?
They
Yeah.
developed better cloaking.
Yeah.
We just don't see them anymore, but they're still there.
I've heard a theory on Joe Rogan's podcast that he thinks that aliens are just a more evolved version of a human, or essentially that we could turn into that because we've grown smaller as we haven't had to rely on our instincts as much in nature, and we can rest in our homes and be a little bit more soft. And he thinks that it'll escalate to the level where we become like the stereotypical alien, small body, and like our heads will get bigger because our brains have gotten bigger, and it'll just keep escalating, and then maybe we'll use technology so we won't have to use our mouths anymore, and the mouth will go away, and then we become the alien that we've depicted all along, and
Just over evolution.
just over evolution.
Just because we're staying inside and literally getting softer because we don't have to fight off a cougar.
Exactly. And then as technology advances, I mean, you can even see it today. People walk less, there's just less movement and everything, so maybe it just goes to that point at some time.
That's possible. I could see that happening, maybe not in 100 years, but over a long course of time.
Yeah, it would definitely take a couple thousand years for sure.
Do you
But
I
think-
know with Neuralink it could happen pretty.
You
pretty
think we'll all nuke
rapidly.
each other before that happens?
That could also happen pretty soon too.
Who knows?
who knows?
I think this is a good spot to wrap up the podcast. We've been going for a good minute.
Sounds good.
If you listen to here, thank you for listening. We always appreciate you. And Bronson and Morgan, thank you again for coming on this lovely recorded episode of Our Voices.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
thanks for having us. It's been a pleasure.
Of course. And thank you for listening. I hope you have a great night or day or morning or whatever. And we'll see you in the next one.